Welcome back, everyone. So I'm excited to once again bring back an old friend who I've known for many years. I wish I could say that. I haven't known him for that long, and he hasn't been here for many years. But he is a member of a generation that we haven't seen on this stage before, and he brings some unique insights. Our next speaker, Boström, is a member of Generation Z, or Z, depending on where you come from. And he is a student of management strategy. He's been fascinated by business strategy and management strategy for many years, and I've invited him here today to share his unique insights into this topic. So please welcome Simon Boström.
Oh no, my mum is late. What are we going to do now? Wait, I know. This reminds me of a story about Einstein and his driver. Do you want to hear that story?
Yes.
Well, Einstein was traveling around Europe giving lectures on his theory about relativity. But once Einstein got sick. And then his driver said, "Einstein, I've heard your lecture many times. I know it by heart, and I can perform it myself." "Well, let's try," said Einstein. "But when we get there, you introduce yourself as Einstein and give the lecture." The driver gave the lecture without any mistakes. But at the end, a professor asked him a really difficult question. And then the driver simply said, "Sir, your question is so simple that even my driver can't explain it." He pointed to Einstein, and Einstein answered the question. "Luckily, I know my mother's talk by heart, and I could perform it myself. Once upon a time, my mom was a swimmer. A good swimmer, actually a youth champion in breaststroke swimming. But at the age of 15, her priorities in life changed and she closed that door. She focused on other things in life, like software development. Now she works as head of development at NetEnt. She got married and got 3 wonderful children. Her life felt perfect. But after seeing her children enjoy the water, she went about her own swimming life. And after a 27 years long break, she opened that door and started swimming again. She was swimming and she was happy. But as soon as she started swimming, she started to think about her medals. She knew it was a wrong way of thinking, because effort should be rewarded, not the results. But she couldn't help it, and she started competing again. She knew she was not faster, but hopefully she was smarter. She wanted to find a good strategy to achieve her goal, which was getting a gold medal at the Swedish Championship in Master Swimming. And for that she used S-curve analysis. You know what S-curve analysis is, right? Right? Well, it's so simple that even my mother can explain it.
Exactly. It's very simple. I was thinking, master swimming market is market as any other business market. So I applied the S-curve analysis in order to see the maturity of the market. If it is still in its embryonic stage, growth, mature or aging. Master swimming has started 15, maybe even 20 years ago, and at the beginning there were just few swimmers competing. But nowadays it's getting more and more popular, probably because of other type of competitions like swimrun, Ironman, triathlon. So it's somewhere here in its growth phase.
But Mina, who are the entrants of this market?
Yes, that's very important. Who are my competitors? We have former swimmers. We have former athletes, people who are doing some other type of sport, got injured and turned to swimming. We have also new swimmers, people who discovered the beauty of swimming as adults. A lot of competitors, right? And I was trying to imagine how competition would look like. something like this, swimming with the sharks. And we are going to fight against each other for the same market share, medals, in an already competitive market. So water in the swimming pool is going to get red of such a bloody competition.
But Mina, do you know what this strategy is called?
No?
Well, it's called Red Ocean Strategy. And many companies are doing it. They fight in already compete in already existing market space, and the goal is to beat the competition, to be the best on the market, to have the best product or service.
Oh, my dear Simon, but can I really beat the competition? Can I really beat all these tough iron girls who are training 5 times a week? You know, I don't have a possibility to train that much. I have a full-time job, 3 kids, 1 husband. I mean, so many things to take care of. I don't have a possibility to train that much.
Unfortunately, you don't. Wouldn't it be nice to swim like this dolphin, all alone in blue water? To create an uncontested market space, to make the competition irrelevant, and win the medal.
Oh, that would be nice. But is it possible?
Well, yes it is, if you apply Blue Ocean Strategy proposed by Mina Marbon and Chang Kim.
Exactly. I've applied this business strategy on my swimming competitions, and I can tell you, it resulted in a literary winning concept. So here it comes, my swimming in the blue ocean story. As suggested, I'll start with the strategy canvas. I wanted to see in which competing factors my competitors are investing in and how much they're investing in, what is the offering level. I have chosen the following competing factors: training hard, freestyle distances, short distances, meaning swimming 50 and 100 meter, middle long distances, meaning swimming 200 and 400 meters, long distances, swimming 800 and 1,500 meters, and not my best discipline category means that even if I'm a breaststroke swimmer, I can swim some other disciplines. Let's see the strategy value curve of the former swimmers. It looks like this. Training hard, oh yes. They're training hard even if they don't want to admit that. Freestyle distances, oh, they love freestyle distances. If you're a former swimmer, regardless what was your main discipline, you're pretty good at freestyle. So they're getting a lot of medals in freestyle distances. Short distances, it's the same. Usually they're very fast and they're getting a lot of medals in short distances, and they're investing a lot of that in short distances. Middle long distances, not so much. Long distances, so-so. The same goes for not my best discipline. Do you know why former swimmers don't invest in middle long distances? It's a pure psychological reason. You know, if you were a good swimmer once upon a time, now as a master swimmer, your time differs compared to your best time ever. And that difference grows exponentially when you start from short distances to middle-long distances, but after that it starts dropping down. So you can say that the difference is the worst for middle-long distances. And that's why they don't want to face that fact. They don't want to see the proof how bad they are nowadays. So that's why it's very important that each company has psychologists and anthropologists who are analyzing your competitors' behavior and lifestyle. Let's see the strategy value curve of former athletes. It looks like that. Training hard, oh yes. Maybe they're not only swimming, but they're going to gym, cycling, or running, so they are training very hard. Freestyle distances, yes. Usually you can just crawl, so they are competing in freestyle distances. Short distances, yes, investing a lot. It's so easy to swim 50 or 100 meter. Middle long distances, not very much. They're not very good at that. Long distances, yes, they like them because they're very endurance, so they're good at long distances. Not my best disciplines, not at all, because they can just crawl. Let's see the strategy value curve of the new swimmers. Training hard, so-so. Freestyle distances, yes, usually they can just crawl. Short distances, yes, usually they are just capable of swimming such short distances, 50 and 100 meters. Middle long distances, no, they're not capable of swimming that. Neither long distances, neither not my best discipline. Do you see some trends here? Can you see some trends in their strategy value curves? All three curves converge in the same manner. What does it mean? It means that all of them are competing around exactly the same competing factors, and they're investing approximately the same effort in each competing factor. So if I create my strategy value curve in such a way to converge in the same manner, what would it mean? That I'm going to end up in the red ocean, that I'm going to compete around exactly the same competing factors. So, in order to find my blue ocean, my market niche, I have to create such a strategy value curve which diverges from all other value curves.
Each good strategy has to have three things: focus, compelling tagline like apples think different, and divergence.
Oh, I know that divergence is very important, but how can I introduce divergence in my strategy value curve?
By applying 4 actions framework. You go for each competing factor and decide if you should reduce, eliminate, raise, or create for your strategy.
Exactly. Let's see how I did that. So I started from the first competing factor, training hard. As I already said, I don't have a possibility to train hard. You know, full-time job, 3 kids, 1 husband, that story. So I will reduce that factor. Freestyle distances. Everyone is investing in freestyle distances. It's a typical Me Too product. I will completely eliminate that from my strategy. It's not worth doing that. It's not worth creating another Me Too product that all other competitors are doing. The same goes for short distances. But middle long distances, can you see the beauty here? No one is investing in middle long distances. So I will raise that factor. And I will create the new mindset for not my best discipline competing factor, so that I can compete in other disciplines, not only in my breaststroke, that is my main discipline. And I can tell you, that decision was very difficult from a psychological point of view for one breaststroke swimmer, but I decided to do that for the sake of the good strategy. And here is my strategy value curve. Do you see? It diverges from all other value curves. I got even a compelling tagline, swimming in the blue ocean. But if I don't swim my breaststroke distances, which disciplines should I swim?
You have to find the sweet spot on the market. The sweet spot is a unique place, something that is requested on the market. No one is offering it, and your company is capable of creating it. For this competition, the sweet spot are the following disciplines: 100 meters and 200 meters backstroke and 200 meters butterfly.
Okay, tell me, am I done now? I've created my strategy value curve, I found the sweet spot on the market. Is it just to go and compete? Am I done now? What do you think?
No, you have only analyzed the market. You haven't analyzed yourself.
Exactly. I haven't analyzed what I can offer to that market. What is my main value proposition according to the Osterwalder's business model CANS? As a former swimmer, one of my main value proposition is that I can swim all 4 swimming techniques. And I can also swim all distances. Theoretically. But is it really like that?
To find an answer on your question, you have to apply real framework. You ask yourself these 4 simple questions and decide if you should go for it or not.
Exactly. So, when you have found the sweet spot on the market, You start with the first question. Is it valuable? Does it create a value? You don't want to create something that does not create a value. The second question is it rare? You don't want to create directly another Me Too product. The third question is, can it be easily imitated? Why this one is so important? Because even if you have found your market niche, blue ocean, you don't want that it gets read directly, that all competitors start doing the same directly. Because every blue ocean will get read sooner or later. So that's important, that your offering should not be easily imitated. And the last question is your organization capable of doing that? And that's also very important. Sometimes blue ocean strategy is presented by this nice picture with the two fishbowls. In the first fishbowl, you have a lot of fishes representing your competition, a lot of competitors. And the goal with the blue ocean strategy is to find an empty fishbowl, a new market niche with no competitors inside. So you can say that blue ocean strategy gives company strategy, gives direction to that fish, where it should jump. But equally important is another thing. Even if you found a market niche, no one is doing that. It's very important if you are capable as an organization of creating that. So you can say, that fish from the picture has to have muscles in order to jump to that fish bowl. Otherwise, it will end up somewhere in the between and you are going to fail. So let's see how I applied this real framework. I started with the 200-meter butterfly. Is it valuable?
Yes.
It leads to a medal. Is it rare?
Yes.
Not many swimmers investing in it. Can it be easily imitated?
No.
No, it's really very hard to swim 200-meter fly. Am I capable of doing that? Unfortunately not. Not without hard training. So I've eliminated 200-meter fly from my strategy. 200-meter backstroke. Is it valuable?
Yes.
Is it rare?
Yes.
Can it be easily imitated?
No.
Am I capable of doing that? Yes, I will go for that. The same goes for 100-meter backstroke. So I've decided to compete in 100 and 200-meter backstroke. But how should I prepare myself for that competition? I've applied the SWOT analysis on myself in order to find an answer on that question. I wanted to see what are my strengths, weaknesses, and threats on the market. My main strength is that I'm a former swimmer. For me, it's easy to compete. I know how the competition goes. What is the weakness? It's that backstroke turn. You know, it changed a lot during the last 27 years. When I was a child, you are swimming just like that, backstroke, and when you hit the wall, then you make a turn. But nowadays, you are swimming backstroke, and one stroke before you hit the wall, you have to turn on the stomach and make a half flip turn. And I'm not good at that, so it's my main weakness. What are the threats on the market? There may be some other smart girls performing the same market analysis. And now we are approaching to the last step in my strategy. It's not part of the blue ocean strategy, but it's part of my life philosophy. And I call it for a minimum viable effort. Every time when I set some goal in my life, regardless if it is professional or personal, I'm thinking like that. I'm here, and here is my goal that I want to reach. What is the minimum effort which I should invest in order to reach my goal? Because I don't want to use any unnecessary energy. So, in my case, I was thinking, what was the most important in order to get a medal? To train as hard as possible?
No, it's to not get disqualified. Because if you get disqualified, there will be no medals to win.
Exactly. So it was the most important thing was not to get disqualified, because the market analysis showed that my time was good enough for medal. So that's why the main focus in my strategy was on practicing turns instead of training hard. And then I organized my weekly training in that way. I was practicing turns instead of training hard. And then I competed at the Swedish National Championship in master swimming.
How did it go? What do you think? Did you get any return of investment?
Yes, I got my medals. And I was so happy because I managed to link innovation to a value. And that's very important. You should not innovate just for the innovation's sake, because now it's trendy to innovate. Your innovation strategy should create a business value.
But don't forget, the sweet spot is moving and shrinking all the time, so you have to perform a new market analysis before each competition.
Exactly. And since I was happy with my swimming in the blue ocean strategy, I've applied it for another competition. And do you know what I found out then? I could swim my breaststroke distances. The market analysis showed that. So I was swimming in the red ocean. But do you know why? Because I knew that I was one stroke ahead of competition. And that's also an important message. You don't have to search for blue oceans or create blue oceans all the time. You can stay in your red ocean, but only if you're really, really sure that you are 1 or 2 strokes ahead of competition, which is usually not the case. You know, I can ask you for your companies, can you be sure that you are 2 strokes ahead of competition? And now we are going to wrap up this talk by this nice blue-red ocean strategy comic written by Simon. So he did it spontaneously, and when I saw it, I was so impressed how a child, 10 years old, understood the essence of the blue ocean strategy thinking. Let's see what happens in this nice comic.
At the bathhouse, there's 2 swimming pools. One, red ocean, with many swimmers inside of it, and a blue ocean with just a few swimmers inside of it. There's 2 guys talking. Let's see what they're saying.
Hey! I'm going to swim in the red ocean.
But wait.
It feels that he has another mindset. But why? Why should I wait?
Because there's so many people swimming in the red ocean.
Okay, so what?
Many people believe they're good in red oceans and they're staying in them for all costs. And just a few of them are capable of creating blue oceans.
Aha! So you mean that we have to make a shift in focus from competing in the red oceans to creating blue oceans?
Yes.
Aha! So that's why I hope that I will be swimming in my blue ocean once again.
And I hope you will find your blue oceans.
So, to blue ocean it?
Or not to blue ocean it?
That is the question.
And the answer is blue ocean it. As often as you can.
So,
let's blue ocean it.
Thank you very much, Simon. And Mina, it was so nice of you to pop in and help out.
yes. I can just invite you for our Blue Ocean Strategy workshop at 2 o'clock. So here was presented just the main idea behind the Blue Ocean Strategy thinking and mindset. And during the workshop, we are going through all tools, not only these presented in the presentation, but also other tools recommended, how you can analyze the market, yourself as a company, your competitors, and find your blue ocean. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got 15 minutes for a break now before we come back.